Sorry about the lighting, you can really tell it's morning, but that's not the point today. I'm just gonna make a quick little video, because I said I would in my Demigod Diaries review, about a topic I wanted to discuss, and I just want to talk about Percy Jackson, because it's a series I love. Percy Jackson is childhood, everyone knows this, so I just wanted to make a quick little video topic thing about something a lot of Percy Jackson / Heroes of Olympus fans have always wanted, and like a pretty good amount. Like there's fan fiction out there for this. It's like a predominant thing that people want, and that is a spin-off book which would feature Talia, Luke, Annabeth, and eventually Grover on their like adventures before they went to Camp Half-Blood, when they were just wandering around the country doing God knows what. And a lot of people want that spin-off. I remember when Percy Jackson, and the Olympians ended, I thought that, and because basically down the road a little bit we were told, oh, there's going to be new Percy Jackson, so I assumed it would have been that. And at the time, I really wanted that because I just wanted anything Percy Jackson. I didn't know about the Prophecy of Seven. I didn't think that was actually leading to an immediate book, but it was, and that's very awesome. And Heroes of Olympus was great, despite some minor flaws. I can't talk today. But basically, I looking back on it, I think that idea would have been terrible. I think Rick made a smart move in just making a short story for the Demigod Diaries. And so I think, because some people are still asking for it, and I want to say why I think that spin-off book would not be a very good book at all. And first off, the character development. In Percy Jackson, we see Percy start off as this small 12-year-old child, and by the end of the series, he's an adult. He's grown as a demigod, as a leader. He's all of these things. He's like a good friend. He's grown. He doesn't make the mistakes he used to make. And Rick Riordan and his characters get very nice development, but still stay true to their roots and core, and it's a very satisfying thing. With this, let's look at the characters. We have Annabeth grow, and that's there might be something there because she's a child and she grows into Annabeth. We know that could be something. Talia, she's kind of just the same character in the beginning. And Luke, he's just going to develop from a average kid to this evil kid that's sort of good. And we know what happens there. We know in the end, Percy Jackson Olympian spoilers, he's going to eventually come back to the good side. So it's why do we need to see him grow to be more evil? Even though we probably won't even see that, because that doesn't really happen until after he gets to camp. So it's why? Why do we need to see this character who isn't going to grow? And all the characters aren't going to grow, really. And that's not fun to watch. And on top of that, the events that would happen, they wouldn't be as good as the rest of the series, because as the series goes on, we are constantly introduced to new gods, new heroes, new monsters, whatever the fuck. And in this, we have less options. One, because of the locations. A lot of the locations have already been used. That's why in Heroes of Olympus we moved across the waters. So we won't get any more new locations, and all the monsters and gods that we will one day meet, we don't get to see because Annabeth hasn't met them yet. She meets them in the Percy Jackson series. Same with Talia and Luke. We might get an occasional one that could slip and you can make an argument for, but other than that, no, we don't get any of the cool characters, and that's very disappointing. Another question, this isn't really a big oh, this would be bad, but whose perspective would it be? Would it be Luke? Because one, I think we want Talia, and would it be switching from character to character, which would probably be the most likely? Would it be first person, third person? And that kind of takes the root off a main character, and that's not really a bad thing. I think third person worked with Heroes of Olympus, but then you're excluding Annabeth, and if you had Annabeth, she's 7. That can be not a very good character to follow in their head to watch. Not saying it couldn't work, but just, this book just sounds terrible. I'm sorry. And ultimately, the reason why I don't think this book would work would be there is no climax or reward. At the end of this book, they get to Camp Half-Blood, and we know what happens there. There's no, like, future, like, oh, what's going to happen? I know exactly what's going to happen in detail, and I know what's going to happen from there, and how it will eventually pan out. And in the end, Reyna and Nico will be the main stars, but I could do 50 videos on Heroes of Olympus. So ultimately, I think the book just won't work because it would be boring. We'd just be going to very minuscule events and watching characters that, as much as I love them, they're not gonna grow. The best we can get is some fun banter, and that's only gonna last for so long. And so yeah, just a quick video I wanted to make why I don't think this book would be a good idea, but we have the Demigod Diaries, and that's a fun little book, and I'll have my review for that down below. If you haven't already watched it, check it out. Subscribe if you want more Percy Jackson videos. If you want to tell me to make more Percy Jackson videos, then just tell me, and hopefully I'll make them. Have a good day, I guess. With that,